Hey guys, I have some fantastic news. She's in there. She's on right now. That's right. I got another key for the van. She's running, she's purring. I'm mobile again. Finally, I have been dealing with this for literally a month. And I had to like jump it again. That's why I have the other car over here. Guys, it has been a long freaking time. I've been so worried. Like every day has just been stressful. And now, like this whole entire build was halted because I didn't feel comfortable working on a van that I couldn't drive. But now I feel like re-energized, ready to go. And I'm not scared to start working on it again. I'm gonna get this baby going. I'm gonna get it all hooked up. I got my solar ready. I'm gonna continue my video on how I'm gonna hook up the solar. We're gonna do it. And guys, if you have a Ford Transit Connect from like 2010 or like, I don't know, 2010 to 2012-ish, get a freaking another key for that shit. I got, the locksmith made me 2 keys, and I'm putting an AirTag on one of those keys, and I'm keeping the other key locked away in a safe place that I know it's always going to be. That's the worst thing about the Ford Transit Connect, is its key. Ford's not going to give you a key. You're going to have to find it from yourself. That's just how it is. So, the closing message, the lesson of this story: get a second key. You don't want to end up like me and be in this position, because it was freaking stressful. But yeah, I'm gonna go drive it around. It hasn't moved for a month, so it's time for it to be driven. I'm gonna go get it out on the road. Guys, I can't even begin to tell you how good it feels to be driving this thing again. Like, I was seriously thinking, like, I just had a $7,200 thing that I wasn't going to be able to use, just sitting in my driveway. A huge weight has been lifted off of my shoulders. I honestly can't believe that I'm driving it right now. Like, I kind of went into like a little psychosis, I guess, where I was convinced that I was never going to drive this thing again. Even though, like, we had the key code and everything. I was just convinced that something was going to be wrong with the key machine. Something is wrong with something. I cannot wait to get started. Like, I'm gonna go full speed on this fucking van build now. I got over my first hiccup there, and I know there's gonna be more, but that was definitely a big one. I had no idea it would be this hard to get a key. Like, I thought, all right, I'm just gonna go to Ford, pay $300 for a key, and that's that. Nope. Ford did nothing for me. The only helpful thing that they did was recommend the locksmith that I got to get me a key for this. That's all that they did. They stopped making the Tibby keys for a reason, because they're hell to deal with, and they don't deal with them now. I'll tell you what, if you have a Tibby key, probably doesn't even have to be Ford. Could just be like, I mean, it's really only like Jaguars that use Tibby keys now. But still, I'd recommend, if you have a Tibby key, make sure you have a spare, and get yourself some Apple tags or tiles or whatever. Get yourself a tracking device for that shit. I'm gonna I'm driving this thing, make sure it gets a little workout. That battery gets all juiced up. It has been sitting for a whole month doing nothing. And I know the worst thing for a car is to have it sit. So I'm giving it some exercise. Oh shit. That house has solar panels. That's pretty freaking cool. Damn, I'm so excited. Yes! Oh my gosh! I can't believe I'm driving this right now. Oh my gosh. Alright. I'm gonna go do some loops around the neighborhood, and I'll talk to you guys about everything when I get back home and park it again. Alright, so I just parked the van. I almost don't want to stop driving it because it just feels so good to hear it, you know, the engine purring again. And I am going to leave it on for just a little while to build that battery up again. But let me go over some stuff, like the story of what happened in between my last video to now that I finally have a key for it. Because I was like super depressed over this, that I couldn't even make a video on this. I thought this whole YouTube channel was just going to be over before it even started. So I was like, what's the point? And yeah, it was terrible. But so the day that the locksmith was supposed to be coming back with a key, that key did not work. It was the wrong code, I guess. And by the way, it was like raining, and I was wearing my good luck stone, Adventurine, I think. And as soon as the guy was like, yeah, it doesn't work, I freaking tore that thing off and threw it away. I was like, this shit is not giving me any good luck. And it was just a terrible freaking day. The guy picked the ignition, and then he got his lockpick stuck in the ignition, and we spent the whole entire night getting the ignition core out. This thing over here, his lockpick was stuck in there, and so we had to take this out and this out and like all that out to get the ignition core, that thing right there, out of there, so he could get his like $200 lockpick unstuck. And yeah, we ended up getting it out like at fucking 1 o'clock in the morning, and he ended up taking it back to his shop, picking it there. I guess he realized the right code. And yeah, that whole day I was just numb. Like, if this key did not work, I did not know what I was gonna do, because Ford, like I said, couldn't help me. So, but luckily they picked the right code, got a key cut for it, and now I'm sitting here in a working van. So thank you, van gods. So that's that story. Luckily, that is a chapter that has been shut. And as my insurance for future lost keys, I've gotten myself an Apple AirTag. I actually ordered 2 of them. One for my new key and one for my wallet. And hopefully this helps a lot. So far it seems to be doing a good job. It always tells me when I leave my wallet behind, which I don't really have a problem. Like, I don't have a problem losing my wallet or keys. I lose other stuff. So the fact that this even happened is so ridiculous. I have no clue what happened to that key. I literally put my keys on a rack by the door all the time. This is like a freak accident because I don't lose wallets and keys. I literally think someone like came into my house and grabbed the key and like ran off with it. I think someone stole it. And I have cameras on this house, so I think I might just go back and like look at that. I was just too depressed to do that in the moment. I did go back on the dates that I lost the key and like looked at the footage to see if I could find myself leaving it anywhere, but that didn't work. I got out of the van and went inside. That was all that was on that footage. But yeah, it was not fun. So now that that's all settled, I am going to put in my solar panels. They're gonna be, because I don't want to drill too many holes in my roof, so I just bought flexible solar panels, and I'm gonna tape them up and then put one hole in the roof for the cords. And yeah, that'll be my solar thing. But yeah, check out that video, and remember to give me a like and subscribe, and happy van life to all of you, because it is a beautiful day. Look, spring has sprung. Look at these trees. Spring is here. I'm happy. You should be happy too. Go out and do what you want to do. Thanks, guys.